As the calendar prepares to turn from September to October in the Pacific Northwest, Portland Timbers 2 are still in the thick of the playoff hunt, looking to make the postseason for a second straight season. Today, expansion club Austin Bold hopes to further lock in their playoff bid on a brisk and rainy day in the Rose City. It's match day 30 as Timbers 2 welcome Austin Bold to Soccer City, USA. Well, things are bunched up in the Western Conference. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. And as we see Phoenix Rising FC on top of the table, they have clinched the Western Conference regular season championship. Fresno and Reno already clinching their playoff berths. Portland Timbers 2 just below San Antonio FC on 38 points. Of victory today obviously moves them up into a tie for playoff position with a match in hand against San Antonio. With that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth here at Providence Park alongside Thorns Academy Director Laura Schott. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Laura, this match has huge playoff implications for both teams and should set up to be a really interesting one to watch.
This will absolutely be an interesting match today. Today you have two teams that are fighting for playoff position. You have the Austin team that's not been great on the road this year. They have 2 wins this entire season on the road. Meanwhile, T2, in the last 5 games, they've given up 12 goals. So we'll have an interesting matchup this afternoon.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch in this one. We'll start off with Portland Timbers 2. Ryan Sierakowski has really grown throughout his first professional season, most recently scoring against Tacoma.
Well, you see it there. He has 7 goals this season. He's been an offensive powerhouse off and on here for the for T2 this year. So we'll look for him to get down the wing and serve crosses and also get to goal.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, Austin Bold FC, Kleber, the Brazilian, has been an offensive powerhouse himself, 11 goals, including a hat trick the last match.
Last match against Las Vegas, as you said, Kleber had 3 goals, had that hat trick. He's been an offensive powerhouse, and we'll look to see more from him this year.
All right, it's Portland and Austin coming up. Just the second all-time meeting between T2 and Austin and the Texas side's first trip to Providence Park. We'll get you starting lineups and opening kickoff from the Rose City next. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Welcome back to Providence Park. Just about set for kickoff between Portland Timbers 2 and Austin Bold FC here as the rain continues to fall. A bit windy as well, and certainly a brisk fall day in the Pacific Northwest. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start off with the visitors today, Austin Bold. 0 changes from a team that topped Las Vegas 4-1 last Sunday. A couple familiar names in there for MLS Timber supporters, Jermaine Taylor and Amobi Akugo, both having played with Portland Timbers of MLS in years past. Laura?
Those 2 players have a lot of experience, both their MLS experience, and combined for Austin, they have a lot of age. They have Kleber, Lima, and Baez, who have a lot of experience, and that they're going to need that today to get the win on the road.
Meanwhile, for Portland Timbers 2, 3 changes from a side that topped Tacoma 9 days ago. Jake Leaker, one of those changes. He'll get his 12th start in goal this season. A 4-1-4-1 in front of him with Foster Langsdorff up top, making his 23rd start of the season.
T2 lining up in this 4-1-4-1. They have Wharton back in the holding mid. He's been in the back line, and they're moving him forward. He has a lot of experience in that position. In front of him, they have Williamson and Anguiano, who combine in the attack to create a lot of opportunities, and we'll look for them to do so today.
So for Portland Timbers, too, of course, led by Cameron Knowles in his second season, 27, 25, and 12 is Knowles in his nearly 2 complete seasons, assisted by Andrew Greger directly to his right, and then Aiden Brown second to the right from Cameron Knowles, who took over this club January 8th of 2018, spent 2012 through 2017 with the MLS Timbers as an assistant, and played for the Timbers in USL First Division from 2007 to 2010. Would very much like to see his side get a victory today. It won't be an easy task, though, as Austin is going to present some challenges to Cameron Knowles' side as we look at Marcelo Serrano in his first season as head coach of this Austin side. Was introduced as the club's first head coach back on August 3rd of 2018. He actually also serves as head coach and GM of the U.S. Virgin Islands men's national team. 12, 11, and 7 is Serrano in his tenure thus far, assisted by goalkeeping coach Ryan Thompson and Arturo Sanchez as well. You see Austin there in the striped blue and white kits, as Amobi Akugo there, number 15, making his way around. He's very familiar, having spent time with the MLS Timbers as recently as last season. So while he's been here, he hasn't been in this new building yet. The new renovation having taken place, and Portland playing a lot of their home games in the back half of the season, both the MLS side and this T2 side, because of that renovation. So some exciting stuff. We're ready to go, and Eric Tattersall, our head referee, gets us underway here from Providence Park. It's Portland Timbers 2 and Austin Bold FC. Portland Timbers 2 on the outside of the playoffs, looking in right now, 10, 11, and 8 so far this season on 38 points. They are just outside the playoffs. Meanwhile, you look at Austin Bold. They are currently inside the playoff picture and hoping to make it in their inaugural season. It's been an exciting year for Austin, and as Laura mentioned, lots of experience in this lineup. We'll get to that more momentarily. But Laura, for Portland here, as we're just underway, what are you looking for, and what do you want to see to show that they're up to pick up the result today?
You should just find some rhythm. They haven't been dominant either on the road or at home. It's really 50-50 for T2 this year. So they need to just get into a rhythm, keep the ball, and look for opportunities going forward.
Portland with the possession here early, building a little bit of rhythm. The last time out, as mentioned, a 6-3 victory over Tacoma Defiance. Dairon Asprilla with a brace, Brian Hurtado, Ryan Sierkowski, Carlos Anguiano, and Eric Williamson scoring as well. Big switch over. Hansen controls and keeps in touch. Nutmegs the defender, will send the cross in, blocked away by Jermaine Taylor, only as far as Eric Williamson, and then he loses out to Tuamasi. But then his pass stolen away by Nathan Smith, finds Hurtado. Eventually Austin controls and will bring it the other direction. Ball down the line for Mcfarland. He'll play central, dangerous ball right at the top of the 6, and eventually cleared away by Wharton. Harold Hansen with a good attack here early, Laura, off the chest to keep it in play, and then nutmegs Tuamasi.
Yeah, here you see Hansen with the right foot, just keeps the ball in the line. Nutmegs a player and then gets in, tries to send the cross, but blocked.
So Brofheid to throw in for Austin. It is a cold day here in Portland. Supposed to be cold this weekend. I don't think anyone expected it to be quite this cold. Temperature supposed to be mid-50s today for this one. Starting to get down to the degrees, though, where throwing in challenge is going to hurt a little bit. It's actually 48 degrees right now. Won't get above 51 throughout the course of this match this afternoon. Wind about 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northeast, making things a little bit colder here in downtown Portland. Important match for Portland. They have not taken full advantage of home games throughout the course of this season. Portland just 4-5-4, make it 5-5-4 at home this season. 2 more home matches left after today before they go out on the road for the final pair, as Hansen fouls Tuamasi at midfield. Yeah, Laura, it's interesting when you look at this Austin Bold team. Emma Twomasi, one of the younger players out there here today, but the two men up top, Kleber and Andre Lima, combined age is 70 years old between the two of them, and a bunch of other experience in the midfield as well. Kind of one of the differences you see between USL Championship clubs that are not affiliated and a club like Portland Timbers too that's affiliated, of course, with the MLS Timbers. So much more youth in their lineup as they're trying to develop players through success so that they can have an opportunity to grow, experience time with the MLS Timbers, whereas Austin is really coming out to win the USL Championship year in and year out with no affiliation.
Yeah, in situations where there's an MLS team and a USL team within the same club, sometimes you put some players in the lineup for USL and see how they fare and see how they produce. Stepping into a professional lineup is not an easy task. So for some of these young players, you see Anguiano on the ball there. He's a young player that's come into the lineup and done quite well. Giving those players opportunities to see if they can compete at this level is important for their development and important for the club.
At the beginning of the season, when Portland started the year so successfully, and players like Marvin Luria, Renzo Zambrano, Moja Dama, Eric Williamson, who is in the lineup today for Portland, among others who have now gone on to feature for the MLS Timbers, play significant time and contribute at a high level as well. And that's got to be the difficult part for Cameron Knowles, is that's what you want to see for the individual players, but then that means that there's rotation with the USL side. And outside of Todd Wharton, who leads this team in minutes, has played in every single match, started all but one of them this season, there has been a lot more in and out of the lineup, which makes it challenging to develop any sort of consistency. And we saw that when this team struggled a bit over the summer, bringing in academy players, giving them opportunities to show what they can do, and just that rotation in and out of the lineup can make it a challenge.
Well, when you're leading with development and you're looking to give players opportunities and trying players both with USL and with MLS and moving academy players forward, it's difficult sometimes to keep a rhythm. If you can't keep the same players in the lineup's not consistent. Everybody knows that doesn't necessarily lend itself to consistency moving forward into results, but that's not necessarily always the goal.
Williamson switch out to Smith, corner of the 18, back central for Williamson. Tries to chip over the top for Langsdorff, doesn't come off. And Kleber brings it the other way. His pass intercepted though, and that was actually Baez. Anguiano taken down by Kleber though. And Portland with the better of the possession here early, controlling the match. Still both teams without a shot though here through 7 minutes. Plenty of bodies back defending for Austin. Pretty much everyone but a couple players behind the ball there, and Sierakowski just plays it out to touch.
Both teams know the importance of the result of this game in terms of playoff implications. You can see them getting back behind the ball, and then they're not rushing to get forward all the time. They're looking to get into that rhythm, both T2 and Austin. You've seen them move the ball from left to right and keep possession and keep the ball and trying to find that rhythm, and that's going to be important moving forward as they look for goal-scoring opportunities.
This 4-1-4-1 formation for Portland is not something they've really played much of this season, if at all. More used to a 4-2-3-1, and then recently, amid some struggles, have gone to a 4-4-2 as Twomasi and Dizpay will be in a foot race. Twomasi will get there first. He plays to Kleber. Kleber will shoot from distance. Leaker, easy stuff down to his left, spills it for a second, but no one was running onto him from Austin, and he collects. First shot of the match, and it comes off the long run forward from Twomasi.
You can see him in the corner there. He plays the ball back to Kleber, and Kleber, you know that he was going to look for goal-scoring opportunities, and Leaker takes that one fairly simply, bobbles it a little bit, but just fine.
Kleber, 5 goals in the last 3 matches for Austin. Only had 6 goals until September 11th, and then has put 5 in the back of the net, as mentioned in the last 3 matches. Has some physical play. Results in the ball at the feet of Kleber, who sticks an elbow high into Wharton's face. The two exchange some pleasantries, if you will, there.
Yeah, just physically reaches his left arm out there and then I don't know, there might have been a little more intent there that the referee missed, but it's going to be a physical match, and Kleber's a physical player along with Lima up top.
Over 200 appearances for Kleber with clubs like Sao Paulo, Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine, Palmeiras, among others. Kleber actually scored the team's first ever goal and their first ever home goal this season. The two men up top for Austin have 22 goals combined. Williamson tries to find Hansen on an interior run. Tuamasi cuts it out. Bit disjointed here early between Portland and Austin as we cross into the 10th minute. Just one shot so far. That came from Kleber for Austin Bold from distance. Didn't really trouble Jake Leaker much a few moments ago. Fletcher Johnson, Laura Schott here with you at Providence Park. It is chilly here this afternoon. First true day of fall, if you will, with how low the temperature is. Almost feels a little more like winter. This ball chipped over the top and nicely headed back by Lima. Dangerous though, as Langsdorff challenging Restrepo, who gets to it first.
Yeah, it almost appeared that if Langsdorff had taken off a little bit earlier, he could have caused some trouble.
That ball rolls out to touch. It'll be an Austin throw. With just weeks remaining, the pressure is officially on. Tune in to ESPN 3 on October 2nd at 6 p.m. as El Paso Locomotive look to secure one of the final playoff spots, while Fresno FC has its sights set on hosting some playoff games. It's Locomotive FC and the Foxes, October 2nd at 6 p.m. for Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN 3. So interesting to keep our eyes on the Western Conference standings. Things so bunched up. Portland in 12th place right now, but just 7 points out of 5th place. Just gives you a sense of how much really excitement is taking place. Yesterday was the busiest day of games in the league this season. Teams having secured their playoff spots, others taking steps forward or maybe steps backward. Portland hoping to take a big step forward today with a victory, as top 10 teams from each conference make the playoffs, as Brofheid can't keep that one in. Be a T2 throw near midfield. Portland with a better possession here early, nearly 60-40 in their favor. A patient approach from Cameron Knowles' side here early, poking and prodding, trying to figure out their way through this 4-4-2 for Marcelo Serrano and Austin Bold. Switch from Dizpay, finds Smith. Run forward from Hurtado. Hurtado earns a corner kick as Rissi plays it out. And great opportunity here for Portland off the corner kick to get something going. It'll be Anguiano who takes it short to Smith. Smith will send it in, looking back post. And hit it well. Actually ended up being on frame, but too high over Restrepo.
And not a bad look there from Anguiano. Looking for Smith early. Play short. Austin doesn't come out to pressure. Has a great opportunity to play far post here, but it just sails over the goal.
Smith will be wanting more from that opportunity. Brofheid and Lima pressured by Dizpay, and foul called on Dizpay as he took Lima down right near the midfield stripe. 17th pro season for Lima in his first season with Austin. Also his first season in America. Was the top scorer in the Copa de Brazil back in 2007. And pretty good for Portland that they haven't given up a shot to him so far, as he's 5th in USL in shots, has 67 this season. So you better believe he'll be active as this match continues on. Long switch, finds Baez over there on the far side. Back to the Russian Saramutin. Tries to play a ball forward for Baez, but there was going to be too much on that pretty much every time. Good defense by Nathan Smith. And it ends up in a goal kick for Portland. Leaker taking his time with this one. Just wants to send everyone forward.
T2 defense looking to play short there, and Leaker passes on it and pushes him up. Be interesting to see if they're trying to pull Austin forward and then exploit the midfield, maybe find Anguiano and Eric Williamson by doing that.
Big switch from Morton over to Smith in space. A little behind him, and Smith doesn't do well to control it. And out to touch. Sion Mcfarland back to Rissy. Goes forward off the head of Lima. It's over Kleber though, and Leaker well off his line to just send this one back forward. Mcfarland wins the header, only to Smith though at midfield, and Portland once again happy to slow things down, play a bit of possession. We are a quarter hour in here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Laura Schott here with you. Scoreless between Portland and Austin Bold in a crucial Western Conference playoff positioning, playoff hopes matchup, if you will. And Laura, what have you seen in the first 15 minutes?
First 15, both teams look pretty patient. T2 has been content to switch the point of attack through their back four. And switching off have been Williamson and Anguiano pulling back from those midfield positions to keep the ball, and that shows in the possession percentage. What T2 needs moving forward are turning that possession into goal-scoring opportunities.
Williamson fouled there, just a straight push from Mcfarland, and this will be from a dangerous position. Might remember 9 days ago, Eric Williamson scored from a very similar position against Tacoma. That one came from a bit wider of a position, but it was a well-struck free kick that was up for goal of the week, finished in second place. Hard to imagine Williamson won't hit this one as well. Anguiano is there too. It'll be a four-man wall, it looks like, for Austin. Williamson has 2 goals this season, make it 4 goals this season. 2 off of free kicks. Looking to add a third here in the 17th minute. Anguiano runs over it. It will be Williamson, curls it, and just misses that top left-hand corner of the net.
Great opportunity there for T2. Williamson lines us up. Anguiano runs over. Just tries to bend it to that near post, upper V. Misses by the slightest margin.
The one 9 days ago, Williamson hit with power and went to the far corner. This time tries to go near corner and it just doesn't quite come off. Brofheid wins out in front of Sierakowski. Still with it, around 3 defenders. That's great work by Brofheid to keep that ball in possession. Now forward for Lima. Anguiano limping a bit behind the play. Not sure if he got stepped on, twisted an ankle or what, but he is still standing near the midfield circle in a bit of pain. Sierakowski mishits the header but finds Anguiano anyways. Then Anguiano taken down from behind, and the whistle blows. A foul on Amobi Akugo, the 28-year-old Hayward, California native. Eric Tattersall blows his whistle, will slow things down, and then Portland plays quick, and Tattersall allows him to play on. Warren still out wide to Eric Williamson. Portland trying to find their way through, each team with a shot here through nearly 19 minutes. Here's Hurtado dribbling at Baez, goes down to the byline, cross blocked by Baez, out to touch. Orton wearing the captain's armband once again. Worn at every match since Mojadama went out with the injury. Here's Williamson dribbling at Baez. Central for Hurtado. One touch, goes back post, and Sierakowski just a step away. Could have had a finish into an open net. Not sure if that's what Hurtado meant to do, but it almost came off perfectly.
It's a great opportunity here for T2. Ball goes wide to Williamson, and he starts to penetrate on the dribble. He looks back to Hurtado. Hurtado decides to let it go, but it's just off net.
I think he was shooting there.
He was definitely shooting. Sierakowski goes to frame. He almost had it.
Another good look for Portland. And now Austin with it in the attacking third. Press from Portland nearly wins it back, but forces Austin to go all the way back, and then a turnover. Sierakowski and Langsdorff. And then Sierakowski loses his footing. Portland's shown the ability to press high, and Austin has had some trouble with it here through the first 20 minutes. As Lima does well to hold it up and earn his team a free kick. Dead on, about 25, 28 yards away from goal.
This ball flighted in. Despay just tries to get a foot to it, but he's also got him wrapped with the left arm. Fairly easy call to make. Can't make that much contact with the attacker.
So as Austin stands over this one, scoring on the road has not been easy for the visitors here today. Just 12 goals in 13 road matches this season. Been outscored 25-12 in their road matches this year. They have a chance to grab the lead here early. Two prolific goal scorers in Lima and Kleber. We'll see who ends up being the man to take. Lima and Kleber both walking away from it. Could be Baez. Jermaine Taylor also standing there as well. But it looks as though Lima will be the man to hit it. Seven men in the wall for Portland. They'll play short. This will be Baez. And that one did not come off well from Austin. It was Lima who touched it over to Okugo, who set it. Baez's run onto it, though, was offline.
A little bit of an unusual situation with 7 men in the wall, and then 4 people really potentially on the ball there. Anyone could touch it. Looks like there's a little confusion from Austin.
Portland happy to let that chance go begging. Harold Hansen with the strong header, but then headed back by Langsdorff directly to Twumasi. Despay using his strength to keep it away from Lima. Now Langsdorff pushed down from behind by Jermaine Taylor.
This game is switching back and forth between being extremely physical, and there are hard challenges on the ball. There are these long stretches of possession where Austin here in particular, they almost fall back into a 5-3-2 in defense, allowing T2 to possess the ball from right to left. Very difficult to penetrate, though, on the attack. So T2, as they start to go forward, they need to look for those opportunities to play central and open up those channels from their wide positions.
You mentioned the physicality of the match. Austin, known for being physical this season. They're in the top 5 in the league in fouls committed with 435 this year. Ball over the top from Twumasi, and he is offside. Good high line from Portland there, but would not be surprised if this thing continues to be physical. Portland not afraid to play in physical matches either. There's Marcelo Serrano, the Brazilian. Knows a little something about physicality, even though he comes from the country that prefers to play the beautiful game. Long ball forward for Langsdorff. That's a nice find by Nathan Smith. Langsdorff tries to find Hurtado, but it's cut out by Mcfarland. And Portland keeps it in play. Baez hits it forward. Orn still off the chest, settled by Williamson. Williamson floats a ball over to Hansen, controls it well first time, then tries to nutmeg the defender. Portland still nearly had it come off in the box, but instead Okc carries the other direction, out wide for Twumasi. Twumasi shouldered off it by Wharton. No foul called there. Good work by the Timbers defensive midfielder, jack of all trades, Todd Wharton. Hurtado's hold-up play results in a foul as Mcfarland, the guilty party, once again. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2020-2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Here's Hansen, shoots, and Portland's got the opener in the 25th minute. Harold Hansen, his first goal of the season.
Great opportunity here for T2. You see Williamson, he picks his head up and he sees Hansen. He's coming across that back line. Williamson just finds that lane, and Hansen with the first time finish. Well done by T2. Beautiful ball threaded through there. That is so hard to do. A lot of players don't have that vision, but Williamson finds it.
Eric Williamson with his 8th assist of the season. And Portland has the lead just over halfway through the first half. See if that wakes up this match as Dispay fouls Kleber. Been a bit disjointed throughout the early stages, but I think that goal could wake things up a little bit as Smith does well to dispossess Austin. Play central for Williamson, bit behind him, but does well to calmly settle it back to Ornstill, who will go to Leaker. It's a great first time hit by Hansen as Dispay fouls Kleber. Kleber asking for a card on Dispay, and Eric Tattersall wants to have a word with Dispay.
This ball comes in, it's really dummied here by Lima, and Dispay was beat. Kleber was going to be in behind. At that point, Dispay really didn't have much of an option other than to foul. Going to have a player with 11 goals on the season. Free, 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Sets up a dangerous opportunity for Austin.
Yellow card, I believe, issued to Dispay for that foul. So the first player in the book for either side today, Adrian Dispay. Caused a couple fouls, defending both Lima and Kleber, as this will come from just inside the half circle. Brofheid and Lima. It'll either be the left foot of Brofheid or the right foot of Lima. Big wall here for Portland, as you might imagine, as this will come from about 20 yards away. Dangerous angle if Lima can curl it. Leaker getting his wall where he wants it. There's 3 players in the wall for Austin. You know they'll move right when this ball's striked. And it will be Lima, shoots, goes off the back of Twumasi, straight up into the air and headed away by Dispay. Big opportunity goes begging there for Austin. Portland sends it forward and just cleared out to touch by Rissi. Okc with good defensive work to pick it up for his team. Trying to find his way through, looking for Baez. Hansen does well to knock it out to touch. Does appear as though Portland's goal woke up Austin a bit. They've had more of the possession lately. Good work there by Hurtado to win it back, then cuts it back onto Amasi, carries it forward. Did not see the press coming from Mcfarland though, and he's dispossessed. Now here comes Mcfarland down the far side. Working to get around and nearly does. Then the shot from Baez, deflected, and Portland collects. Lima shouts of a PK, waved off by Eric Tattersall.
You see the official come in there to take a closer look. There was contact with Lima there, but unsure if there was enough to merit a penalty kick.
Marcelo Serrano barking at the fourth official, Corbin May, telling him to look at the video screen and the replay.
There was certainly enough contact for a coach to appeal, but I don't know if you're going to win that appeal.
I think it's one of those scenarios too, you know, and it's all based off of individual perspective, but the player that was dragged down was not going to be in a position to put a shot on target. Some people will say that doesn't matter, others will say that does matter. As Hurtado's called for the foul on Kleber, we'll take another look.
This is the cross from wide. Comes in and you can see the contact with Lima on top of the six there as Baez comes in to try and finish. Ultimately, the official decides there's not enough contact there to make the call.
And I think what you're seeing too is we talked a little bit before the match about the experience of the two strikers up top for Austin and some of the clever behavior, if you will, to try and create opportunities against the younger T2 defenders to maybe get a whistle, get a call, and get a cheap one. Because whether it was the play with Dizpe where he fouled Lima on top of the box that resulted in the free kick opportunity, or that one more specifically, there was contact both directions, and maybe Lima trying to generate a little bit of the contract to see if he can get a whistle.
Yeah, and in addition, he had turned his body away from goal, so as an experienced striker, you know that it's not very likely that you're going to be able to put that on goal. So if Baez happens to miss, and you can draw that contact, and you can bait or earn that penalty kick, you're going to do whatever you can to do so. So Lima gives it a try, and ultimately there he's not successful, but there was contact, but ultimately no foul.
Just over a half hour in here, Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Laura Schott here with you. T2 out in front 1-0. Thanks to a goal from Harold Hansen in the 25th minute, assisted by Eric Williamson. 57th goal of the season for T2. They were 6th in USL coming into this weekend with 56 goals. So creating a lot, and for the first time this year, they have more goals at home on the year than they do on the road. 28 of their 55 now coming at home this season. Eventually settled by Baez, long switch for Twumasi, who's over on the far side now. The flag off for offside from that far side official, Adam Sanchez.
Yeah, he was definitely offsides, and there have been a couple times that Austin's been caught in an offside position. It's been very, very close though. If they could widen out that run, hold that run a little bit, they might be successful switching that ball and finding the player on the opposite side, but so far the timing's been just slightly off.
Still goes back to Leaker, prep touch, and hits it long over to the near side. Easy header win by Brofheid, who finds Saramutin. Been very quiet, has Valeri Saramutin, the Russian, here in his first season with Austin. Spent last season in Russia with Velds Moscow, making 6 appearances. Has that ball out to touch for a T2 throw. Portland getting the first goal here this afternoon, and when Portland has scored first this season, they are 8-3-3 So certainly bodes well, but a lot of work to do for Portland, as here's a run forward from Okugo. He's got Twomasi on the far side. We'll use him. A little behind him. Now 1v1 versus Nathan Smith. Waited too long for the overlap from Mcfarland, and then Hurtado knocks it out to allow the first corner kick of the match for Austin. Good work tracking back by Hurtado, though, to make sure there was nothing more in that particular opportunity for the visitors. As Edson Brofheid, a 36-year-old from Suriname, will come over to hit the corner kick. Spent last season with FC Utrecht. In his first season with Austin, his 11th start of the year for Brofheid. A left-footed hit in swinger from the 36-year-old. Goes towards a penalty spot. Leaker gets a touch to it. Not much on it, though. And will come over to the near side and do it all over again.
That was a well-struck left-footed in-swinger from Brofheid there. Leaker does a good job to get his fist to it and punch it out of danger. Unfortunately, he can't get it out for a throw-in.
So now it'll be Baez. Brofheid's showing short. Anguiano has his eyes on him, though. Here's Baez's. Straight up into the air. Header won by Mcfarland. He felt that it took a deflection off a T2 defender as it went over Leaker's net. Eric Tattersall did not see it the same way. Maybe Mcfarland got away with a little bit of descent there towards the head referee.
Yeah, Baez sends that ball in. Leaker comes out to punch it, but doesn't quite get there this time, and he's in a crowd.
It looks like Leaker did get that big right paw on it. Went off the head of Mcfarland and almost directly off the glove of Leaker.
Fletcher, right? That took such an awkward deflection behind the goal. I didn't pick that up at first, but off Leaker's fist, it went out.
Austin's high press wins it back. Okugo, central for Lima. Lima will go out far wide to Mcfarland. Defended by Hurtado. Mcfarland cross in, finds Lima, settles for Kleber, who hits it. It's deflected by Smith and cleared away by Dizpay. And Twomasi once again in an offside position on that ball forward. So Austin certainly come to life here in the last 11 minutes since the T2 goal, creating more opportunities, outshooting Portland 6-3 through 36.5 minutes. This Austin team founded in 2017, but playing their inaugural season this year. Their stadium is in the Circuit of America's racetrack facility down there in Austin. Their majority owner, Bobby Epstein. And Austin may be one of the most interesting soccer markets in the country right now because of the fact that Bobby Epstein, in a bit of a PR battle with a name that's familiar to many in American soccer, Anthony Precourt, who of course owned Columbus Crew, wanted to move them to Austin. The big hashtag Save the Crew. Precourt ended up selling his stake and wants to bring a soccer team, an MLS team, to Austin. This ball forward controlled by Brofheid back to Restrepo. And Epstein trying to prevent Precourt from creating a team in Austin. So that one is something to keep an eye on moving forward. As Brofheid and Sierakowski rise for the header, goes over both of their heads and ends up in a throw-in for Bold. These two teams met back on June 8th down in Texas, a 2-2 draw. Austin controlled, and you could argue, probably some would from the Austin perspective, dominated the first 40-45 minutes of the match. And as things progressed into the second half, Portland really grew into the match, got a deserved 2-2 result thanks to goals from Eric Williamson and Todd Wharton. Kugo fouls Williamson, but Williamson works himself around him. Advantage played. Langsdorff controls off the chest, but just can't quite keep it in front of him. And Sarah Mooten does well to earn possession back for Austin. Now Kugo, run forward from Tuamasi. He'll get there in front of Smith. Bodies coming forward for Austin, but Portland doing well to get back defensively. Tuamasi into Baez, can't control. And Wharton to Ornstill, clears out to midfield as Langsdorff's in an offside position. Bad turnover here from Brafide. Here's a Williamson. Big numbers forward for Portland. Ball over the top, finds Hurtado, corner of the box. One touch, shoots! And just wide from Hurtado, nearly doubling Portland's lead in the 40th minute.
It's another opportunistic move here by Williamson, and he sends this ball across, looking for Hurtado. Hurtado's first touch takes him a little bit wide of goal. Wonder if that first touch had taken him inside, if he would have had a better angle to finish. Ultimately, he pitches that ball just outside the goal.
It looks like we might have a substitution here 5 minutes before the break, as Kleber does not look to be feeling good. It will be Chris Tierpak who comes on in place of Kleber. That's a big deal for Portland. Kleber, of course, tied for the team lead in goals for Austin with 11. He comes off, not sure what the issue is. He's not happy about something, though. So Chris Tierpak, the 27-year-old Austin, Texas native, his first touch sends in Tuamasi. Tuamasi tries to send it across. Nathan Smith does well to block it, though, out to touch. So we'll see how this changes the formation, if at all, for Marcelo Serrano and Austin. Tierpak listed as a forward, so could still keep that 4-4-2 formation. As Williamson is fouled by Okugo. Tierpak scored against Portland and had an assist on the first goal. So has enjoyed his soccer against Portland this year, as Chris Tierpak. Final 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Laura, what do you want to see out of Portland here to lock things down to end the half?
As we talked about before, T2 is a young team, and last 5 minutes of halves tends to be opportunities for teams. There are often breakdowns, goals scored.
Foster Langsdorff here dribbling into the corner of the box, taken down corner of the box, looking for a foul, nothing called. Okugo takes down Hurtado, nothing called there as well. I'll have to take another look at that one momentarily, but Austin will bring it the other way at the moment. Not playing the ball, it certainly didn't look like. At least that's what Cameron Knowles is arguing to Corbin May, the fourth official. So now each team with a shout for a penalty kick in the first half. We'll give you another look when we have a moment. This ball over the top, though, looking for Mcfarland. It's Smith first to it and out to touch. Let's take a look, Laura. What do you think?
Oh, that's a tough one, and it's a tough one to see if it would maybe be even a penalty kick call. It's right on the line, maybe just outside.
What about the second one? Hurtado got a touch on the ball as well, tried to work it around Okugo, and Okugo took him down.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're Coach Knowles, you're going to appeal that.
Mercy tries the long switch over to Baez, comes off well. First touch from Baez, nice to Lima. Back to Baez into space for Twomasi, who shoots. Leaker wasn't concerned whatsoever as that was well wide.
You see Baez plays Tomasi in there, and he just doesn't get a hold of it. Just slips off the left there, and it's so far wide. Leaker just kind of looks it out.
Horn still with good defensive work to win it back for Portland. And Langsdorff nearly wins the header, does well enough to get it to Sierakowski though. Anguiano over to Hurtado. Now to Williamson, top of the box. He plays to Anguiano. Anguiano out wide to Sierakowski. Cross in off the thigh of Hurtado and back into the air by Smith. And out for a corner kick. No, a goal kick. The official here on the near side, Seth Martin, said corner kick, but overruled by Eric Tattersall, who says goal kick.
It's a nice little run of play for T2 there. They played the ball so quickly through the middle of the field. They were able to get a great opportunity. Ultimately not able to get a shot on goal.
Here's Sierakowski running at the defense, decides not to use the diagonal run from Langsdorff. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at the end of the first half. Haven't had many stoppages here through 45. So we'll see what the fourth official puts up. We're here in a minute, and that is indeed what we will play here at the end of the first half. An additional minute at the discretion of Eric Tattersall. Long switch from Anguiano over to Hansen. Sierakowski and Hansen miscommunication and goes out to touch for Austin. Important for Portland to close out the half here. Dizpay and Lima, that has been a battle here in the first half. Portland trying to see out this first half with a goal lead. Ball over the top, no one making a run onto it until Baez late. Dizpay is easily there, who plays it back to Leaker. 15 seconds remaining in the added minute. Offside wins the header. Anguiano controls. And fouled by Lima. Anguiano shoves him off. Anguiano, the 18-year-old, nearly half the age of Andre Lima. As we're through the added minute, Dizpay will get us underway. Maybe one final chance forward. Nope, Jermaine Taylor wins it, and we are through 45 minutes with Portland on top, 1-0. Thanks to a Harold Hansen goal, his first of the season in the 25th minute, assisted by Eric Williamson, who picked up his 8th assist of the season. Now Dizpay and Lima having a bit of communication as they walk off the field. So physicality a fixture in this one, and would not be surprised to see that continue into the second half. But Portland will take a lead to the break. They're 6-2-1 this season when leading at the half, looking for a 7th win to pull them into playoff position. We'll get you some news from around USL, a look back at the first half, and more coming up here at the break. It's Portland Timbers 2-1, Austin Bold FC 0.
Let's go with the left foot, Jamal Johnson. What a goal! Perfectly played. And to splice this New York defense with a curling effort. That's incredible! What a goal by Tenorio! Johnson, though, going to hurry things up. Tenorio giving a blast! Goal!
Glover will take a shot. He fires it home for a classic.
Cicerone to the back post, sliding it in. What a start for St. Louis. Tyler Blackwood.
Wharton and Espria in it as well. Williamson strikes and puts it in, a fourth for T2 on a beautiful strike.
Asante saved by Cochran.
And a save by Morton.
Through and a diving stop.
Punched away by Laurel. Follow, can't save Laurel. And this.
It's a hammer. Oh, that's an important intervention by Logan Ketterer.
Knocked on, Klaus fires, and back of the net. Paul Klaus. Final here, ball swept in. Headed on, up and in, and just like that, Toronto answers.
Ball played forward up the side. Moon trying to drop it back. Tries the left-footed shot and finds the back of the net. Nick Moon in stoppage time in the first half, breaking the deadlock.
Rayo now. For Rodriguez, going for that top corner. What a save by Silvestre. Through the midfield for Richmond. Calls for Wheeler Avenue, and a shot saved by Fitzgerald. Still around the box for Chattanooga. The shot by Caparelli's pushed aside by Herrera. Austin America.
So we're not.
And we're back live at Providence Park, halftime. Portland Timbers 2 on top of Austin Bold 1-0 here at the break. Let's go ahead and get you a live updated look at USL Championship's Western Conference standings. Portland, if this result holds, would find themselves level on points with San Antonio. Don't own the tiebreakers, though, although they would be in that 10th spot due to the fact that they played one less match than San Antonio. So Portland looking to hold on to this result here at the break for another 45 minutes. So with that, let's look at some scores from around USL. San Antonio topped Fresno yesterday 2-1, a 2-2 draw between New Mexico and Phoenix Rising. Important for New Mexico as they've struggled second half of the season. El Paso, big 2-1 win over Sacramento Republic is there on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. And LA Galaxy 2, Los Dos, no trouble with Okc Energy 5-1. So some interesting results from around the league. Yesterday was the busiest day in the league this season with a bunch of matches taking place. Let's go ahead and get you some USL news and notes from around the league. Charlotte Independence, $31.7 million stadium renovation will have a capacity of just over 10,000 fans. And partnering with Mecklenburg County for home games. Eric Williamson, second in goal of the week, voting last week for his free kick strike against Tacoma. And team of the week, Dairon Asprilla for T2 and Kleber for Austin Bold, voted to USL team of the week last week, week 29. So we'll see if any players from either side get on team of the week this week for T2 or Austin Bold. Well, Portland on top at the break thanks to Harold Hansen in the 25th minute, sent through by Eric Williamson. Great first-time hit by Harold Hansen. We'll get the first half thoughts of Laura's shot coming up here after the break.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Let's go with the left foot, Jamal Johnson! What a goal! Perfectly placed!
Back live at Providence Park. Once again, wind has settled down a bit, but still temperatures just around 50 degrees as T2 leads at the break over Austin Bold 1-0. There's a look at Jake Leaker there coming back out to warm up as we welcome you back into the booth here at Providence Park. Laura Schott, Fletcher Johnson here with you. Laura, 45 minutes in the books. T2 has the lead. What was your perspective on the first 45?
It was an interesting 45. It started out a bit slow. Both teams seem like they know that this is a big game. They know that this has playoff implications, and so they're both being very conservative. Both teams have played possession in the back. They haven't taken a lot of chances. Austin in particular, they've dropped back into a 5-back really when they're defending. So they're trying not to give anything up, and then obviously T2 broke through at one point, and Hansen got the goal.
Kleber comes off in the first half. That's big news for Austin. We'll see how things progress on that front. But let's go ahead, take a look back at the first half highlights. And things started off in the 17th minute. A great opportunity for Portland to open things up.
And here we see Anguiano run over the ball, and Eric Williamson looks to curl the ball into that near post. Just slightly off, ever so close.
On almost an identical position to the place he scored from against Tacoma 9 days ago. To the 19th minute, it was another opportunity for Portland. Eric Williamson involved in a lot.
Williamson plays this ball in with his right. See Hurtado look to play the ball to the far post and just comes off that. That far post doesn't quite make it in. You see there's Sirakowski crashing the back post. Wishes he could have got there a little sooner.
As Portland continued to create opportunities, they finally found the goal thanks to Harold Hansen.
And here you see Anguiano play the ball across to Williamson. Hansen makes a great run across that back line. Williamson finds that gap between two defenders. Hansen finishes it first time near post. great goal.
First goal of the season for Hansen, 8th assist of the season for Eric Williamson, and Portland grabbed the lead. Just a couple minutes later, nearly a goal for Austin.
Yeah, here you see T2 lines up with so many players in the wall. Lima lines up to hit it and doesn't make enough positive contact to put it on frame. Then clear away.
Yeah, it certainly looked like Leaker could have had that covered if that ball had gotten through. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. Portland on top, obviously, on the scoreline, being outshot by Austin 7-4. Possession was heavily in favor of Portland early on in the half, but Austin obviously pulled that back in their favor towards the end of the half. 8-6 fouls and a couple corners for Austin, just one for T2. But Portland happy to have the lead at the break, 1-0, thanks to that goal from Harold Hansen. The whistle blows. We are underway here with the second half as Austin will attack left to right. As we mentioned, the big substitution in the first half, Kleber came off for Austin. Not particularly sure why either. Didn't look to be an injury. Trainer didn't have to come out on the field. Kleber went and sat down on the bench. Trainer did not come over and look at him. But that's 11 goals on the season, including 5 in the last 3 games you're taking off the field if you're Marcelo Serrano and company. As advantage being played here after Sierakowski was taken down. Long switch by Wharton going out far side for Smith. Great touch by Mcfarland to take it away. Mcfarland using that speed to come down the sideline, defended by Anguiano, sends the cross in early. Dispay, an important clearance header, finds the feet of Williamson. And a dangerous first opportunity for Austin. Some of their best stuff right there to start the second half.
Mcfarland in that first half showed to have some speed advantage on that right side. I wouldn't be surprised to see Austin go down that right side and try to take advantage of that matchup.
Baez in for Lima, who settles. Anguiano knocks away, gets it out to midfield only as far as Rissi. Pressured by Langsdorff. Rissi continuing to carry it forward into the corner of the box. Tries to work around Hansen. Heavy touch, though. Goes across the end line for a T2 goal kick. Boy, what an important result this would be for Portland if they were able to maintain this advantage and pick up 3 points. Be a great opportunity to carry some momentum. 2 more matches at home against Phoenix, who've already clinched the Western Conference Championship. So really interesting to see what Phoenix will put out in that match, which will take place next Friday, October 5th, back here at Providence Park. And then the regular season home finale for Portland against San Antonio. And as we mentioned, if Portland gets a win here, they would be tied on points with San Antonio. So that one could be huge for playoff hopes for both teams. And then Portland back out on the road for the final 2 at El Paso and at Rio Grande Valley. Meanwhile, for Austin, this match starts 4 consecutive on the road to wrap up the year. They play here, then they play at Real Monarchs, at El Paso, and at Tacoma. Figure that match against Tacoma will likely be 3 points, given how poor Tacoma has been this season. But Austin could very well find themselves not in playoff position, given the run of games they have on the road to end the year. Anguiano down behind the play. Austin continuing to play on. Anguiano finally to his feet. This ball floated over the top. Easy stuff for Leaker. So Austin looking more lively, Laura, at the start of the second half here. It was really a sleepy first half performance from them, although they created some chances there after Portland got the opening goal.
Even though T2 is up, it has been a close game, and 3 points are so important at this point in the season. They know that they're on the road, they're going to be on the road for the rest of the stretch, and they have to get 3 points, either out of this game or multiple games coming forward. And if they don't get it here, they know how important the next games become, so they're going to keep pressing.
Broughhide's been very involved. Seems like a lot of the attack for Austin has come down the left side of their attack. But Lima's been pretty quiet today. 11 goals for him this season. Tuamasi has 2 goals.
Tier pack with 7 goals. You wonder, Kleber coming off, Lima being up there in age. These 45, 48 degree days are a little harder on the body than they are when you're 21, 22, I would imagine.
When you're 21 or 22, it's a little bit easier to warm up and stay warm. Anything that kills play or it slows down, or if you're asked to do a lot in a game like this, as you age, it tends to get a little bit harder, a little bit more wear. But we saw Lima in the first half. He likes to post up, and he was trying to post up. Diz Pay really did a good job with him in the first half. He's looking to draw fouls when he can't hold the ball. But when Austin finds him, they've been successful with him laying off and then looking through. They're looking for it, but it hasn't been as effective as maybe it can be the second half.
As Lima's fouled there by Harold Hansen.
Yeah, here Hansen, he turns back and just gets a little close. Not sure if there was a lot there, but as we just mentioned, Lima's been looking for contact.
Almost those fouls that you're happy to concede, not in a dangerous area, and make that 34-year-old body hit the deck a few more times. See how much he's really into it. Mcfarland defended by Smith. Nutmegs Smith, but Smith does well to hold him off. Hurtado there to help. Now Baez with it in the corner. Baez trying to hold it in the corner. Both players go down. Finally knocked out by Hurtado. Baez screaming at the near side official, Seth Martin. Marcelo Serrano not happy either. Felt like a foul should have been called as Hurtado went through the back of Baez. In the end, it ends up with an Austin throw. Mcfarland throws it in, looking for Lima, chests it down to Twumasi, who settles well, shoots, and it's wide.
Again, off the throw, you see Lima posting up again, and as we mentioned, when he posts up and he's successful, it's created some opportunity for that Austin team. Twumasi comes through and he twists his hips a little too far, and he pulls the ball wide.
The 8th shot of the match for Austin, just 4 for Portland. Brofheid goes down, no foul called though. Rissi gets it to Okugo. Wharton and Brofheid down. Wharton back up but limping heavily as this ball goes out wide for Mcfarland, who tracks it down before it goes out to touch. Defended by Hurtado. Mcfarland mishits his pass central for Saramutin. Williamson gets there first into space for Sierakowski. Big run coming from Anguiano. I don't think Sierakowski saw him there on the far side. But Portland, as I mentioned, just 4 shots, but a goal from one of those 4. Portland's tied for first in USL in conversion rate. They convert 20% of their shots. Here's Smith dribbling corner of the 18. Lays it back for Williamson. Williamson works his way around Baez. Makes it look easy. Back post. Hurtado misses it. And Restrepo out to collect. No, Hurtado will want that one back as Williamson made it look easy going around Baez.
That play actually went all the way back to Hansen. He played a clever little ball from right to left there. Out to Smith. Connected, and he was able to get forward pretty quickly. It was a great opportunity.
Wonder if Portland will rue that opportunity. It was an awkward bounce for Hurtado to try and deal with as Okugo fouls Anguiano.
Here we go. Smith setting the ball back to Williamson. Williamson takes it with his right, and he cuts hard, comes end line and sends a nice little floated ball with his left foot. Hurtado comes in for it, but just can't make contact.
Looks like it took a deflection.
Yeah, may have taken a deflection there.
Off the head of Mcfarland, threw off Hurtado's rhythm a little bit. It's been odd little deflections in this game that haven't necessarily affected the ball in a big way, but enough for it to make a difference. As Twumasi works around Diz Pay. Heavy touch. Wharton slides in to deflect it away. And now into space for Hurtado. Hurtado has Anguiano central. Langsdorff goes down in a heap. Not sure what happened there, but he's back up to his feet. maybe just a tangle of legs with Jermaine Taylor. As now Wharton has it. Gets it to Hurtado. Hurtado gets it caught in the spokes. And cleared away by Austin. Pay wins the header in front of Tuamasi. And then Williamson tries to touch it around Tierpak, and Tierpak called for the foul. And we'll see the second substitute of the night already for Austin. It will be Valery Saramutin, the Russian, coming off, and George Costa coming on, the 19-year-old midfielder from Miami, Florida, who was previously with Boca Juniors youth. So Saramutin off, Acosta on. We'll have to see what this does for the formation as well. Looks like Acosta might play in more of that combination up top with Lima. Moving Tierpak back to midfield. It looks like Tierpak will play out on the left in the midfield. So some big changes coming here from Marcelo Serrano. Keep the 4-4-2 formation, but Body's moving into different roles, trying to mix it up to see if he can find any sort of flow in the offense. Here's Tierpak with it. That's Kugo. Austin searching for an equalizer. They've been held scoreless in 6 of 13 road matches this season. Nearly half. And maybe more impressively, Austin scored a goal in every match since July 19th. Have not been held scoreless since midsummer. It's led to the run that they've gone on. That has gotten them into playoff position. In search of an equalizing goal here, 57th minute. Lima can't control, and it's out to touch. Laura, from your perspective, as you've watched this match play out, how much does Austin just looked off, and how much does Portland deserve credit for Austin not being able to get into any sort of rhythm?
Well, Austin hasn't proven so far to be a road team that is successful. They go on the road and they've won 2 games this season on the road, so that they're not very consistent going on the road and getting wins. So in those scenarios, teams will often fall back and try to put numbers in front of goal, maybe pull 4 or 5 back in transition, and then try to build out, push out when they win the ball. It seems to be what they've done today. They've brought a lot of numbers back, got numbers behind the ball, and then they try to press numbers forward in the attack when they find Lima. But thus far, it hasn't been all that effective. We've seen Lima try to draw fouls. He hasn't been able to hold the ball really effectively. But when they've found him, they've had some success getting forward. So getting forward with him and then looking for Mcfarland, I think those are ways that they're going to continue to look to build their attack in this half.
It's interesting because generally when you see teams put players behind the ball, they generally want to play on the counterattack, but with 34-year-old legs and Andre Lima up top, you know you don't necessarily have a whole ton of speed to rely on there. You wonder if that's why they bring in a player like George Acosta, 19 years old, experienced down in Argentina with Boca Juniors youth, hoping to exploit a little bit more that T2 defense, which, as we know, hasn't necessarily been solid this year, but they've looked good through nearly an hour here today. Good combination play there. Eventually stolen away by Sierakowski, who's got it back at his feet now, lets it run through him, but is able to track it down before it goes out to touch. Big switch, Anguiano controls. Now out further wide for Smith. Great ball by Anguiano, the teenager, to find Smith in space. Now to Hurtado. Hurtado pressed by Baez. Will look to get around to Amasi. Does. And tries to hit the cross in before Mcfarland knocks it out for a corner kick, the second of the afternoon for T2. Great build-up play by Portland Tuamasi was in a danger zone there behind Hurtado, had to be careful not to foul him, as that would have been certainly a penalty kick shout for Portland. Instead, here's Anguiano with a corner kick. He'll send it in near post, headed away by Mcfarland, and out for another corner kick. Sion Mcfarland, and a vital and active part of this match for Austin, both on the offensive and defensive ends. Anguiano set to do it all over. Headed away by Mcfarland once again. Smith, header over to Anguiano. Back to Smith. Great work by those two to keep the pressure off. Goes back post looking for Williamson. Headed away by Jermaine Taylor and picked up by Lima. One hour in here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Laura Schott with you as T2 on top of Austin Bold FC 1-0. Harold Hansen with a goal in the 25th minute. Over to Mcfarland, defended by Hurtado. Now to Acosta. Hurtado does well to deflect it away, but trips. Gets it only as far as Baez. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Bit of a misread there by Leaker, but able to get a hand on it, push it outside the box where it's picked up by Tierpak. Tierpak and Hansen go shoulder to shoulder, no foul called, and Sierakowski brings it the other way. Chipped over by Williamson to Sierakowski. Hansen making an overlapping run. Sierakowski fouled by Akugo. Baez not happy, felt that his player was fouled down at the other end, and one of those players has remained down for Austin.
Sierakowski with the ball in his right foot there and fouled on his left. He was protecting the ball with his left foot, and he did a good job to do so.
I believe that's Brofheid who's down. Trainer will have to come out to take a look. So Reza Aguilar will run out, take a look at the 36-year-old from Paramaribo, Suriname. Edson Brofheid, his 11th start and appearance of the season, his first year with Austin. Take another look, maybe see if we can determine what happened to Brofheid. Chasing behind the play, just pulls up lame on that left leg. Tough to tell, Laura, but never a good sign when there doesn't appear to be much contact and the player pulls up.
No, not a good sign. Hard to tell exactly what it was. Perhaps a hamstring or something by his reaction.
What's interesting here is that Brofheid told Marcelo Serrano, his head coach, I'm fine, I'm fine. Looked to be holding off the sub. And this is a big moment in this match, because now Austin has to make their third and final substitution of the afternoon. Forced into it by injury. So Brofheid will come off, and Josu Soto appears to be the player who will come on in his place. So we're back underway, and Austin will momentarily play a man down as Soto gets prepared, gets his kit on. Good ball down the line from Baez. Will pick out Mcfarland. Late run over, Tierpak header, and down a man. Austin has leveled in the 64th minute. Mcfarland finds Tierpak, and he has done it again to T2.
Mentioned earlier, McFarland's got a lot of speed. Here he goes with this run. Interesting ball here. Baez goes right, goes wide, plays McFarland in. Sent a nice little cross in and well finished to the far post. What a big moment in this match.
Austin playing a man down, and just poor management from T2. Almost had that break in the action. You almost wonder if they mentally turned off for a second, and Austin made him pay. 64th minute, 8th goal of the year for Tierpak, his second against T2 this season. And we're back on level terms. Smith fouls Twumasi, and he will be the second T2 player to go in the book. Eric Tattersall will raise the yellow card to Nathan Smith, who picks up his 5th yellow card of the season.
It was a hard foul there. See the right foot touch. Smith comes in late, takes his legs. It's a hard foul by Smith. Perhaps a little leftover frustration from the moment just a little while ago. The goal came down. On that T2 left, Austin right side.
Austin's now scored in the last 11 consecutive matches, thanks to that goal from Tierpak. And will now try and see if they can find a second. Smith wins the header. Nearly cleared out by Mcfarland. Hurtado loses out to Baez. Here comes Mcfarland with it again. We'll send it in early. Leaker gets a touch to it. It's cleared out and controlled by Sierakowski. Sierakowski loses it out to touch under pressure from Tierpak. Boy, Austin has come to life. Here's Okugo. Okugo to Lima, now to Twumasi. No options forward, so he'll play back to Mcfarland. Mcfarland, early cross in. Headed by Lima, offside flag was up there on Lima. As Harold Hansen is down behind the play. Offside flag was up on Lima.
Here comes another Mcfarland cross. He's looking far post. Lima gets his head to it, but easily taken by Leaker. Just doesn't get quite enough on it. Orange still does a good job to run him off the ball, at least run him away from the ball. It's hard to get a lot of power on the ball when you're running away from goal.
And that's tough, as Hansen got stepped on right in the stomach area. Good to see that he's up and okay. Foul called on Portland right on the midfield stripe. And boy, Laura, has this match changed in the last 5 minutes. Portland seemingly in control, didn't seem to be worried too much by the Austin attack, and Austin gets that goal. Mcfarland to Tierpak, and it really seems like Austin's kicking on at the moment. Twumasi looking over the top for Mcfarland, and a foul called on Mcfarland as Smith was shielding Mcfarland away from the ball. Great work there by Nathan Smith to track back and earn the foul. The next dead ball looks like we'll see our first T2 substitution of the match. As Costa goes down, that ball forward looking for him from Soto. This one over the top in the direction of Sierakowski. Too much on it, a deep throw here for Austin, but we'll see the substitution first. And it will be Christian Ojeda, the player on loan from Club Athletic Talleres down in Argentina. 20-year-old coming on in place of Brian Hurtado. Hurtado had a couple different opportunities tonight, couldn't quite connect. So his night is over after 69 minutes, and Christian Ojeda, the dangerous left-footed player, will come on, seeing if he can have an impact in this one. Costa, great touch to get around Dizpay. This ball central, Twumasi gets there in front of Smith. Is he 1v1? Heavy touch lets him down, and Nathan Smith tracks back to help out a little bit, and Portland eventually clears the danger. Boy, dangerous moment there as Twomasi was nearly in on Leaker. He tracks back to help out though and dispossesses Eric Williamson. Now over the top for Mcfarland again in a foot race with Ojeda, and Ojeda happy to let this one roll across the end line. Ball forward from Lima. Smith caught flat-footed, Laura.
Yeah, Twomasi makes that run from right to left across Smith. He got caught ball watching.
Great work to track back by Smith after making the mistake, making sure Twomasi didn't get a shot on goal. Ethan Smith, the 24-year-old from Clovis, California. 1 goal and 2 assists this season in that left back position. Foster Langsdorff's had a quiet night. And then Sierakowski fouled by Soto. With just weeks remaining, the pressure is officially on. Tune in to ESPN3 on October 2nd at 6 p.m. as El Paso Locomotive look to secure one of the final playoff spots, while Fresno FC has its sights set on hosting some playoff games. It's Locomotive FC and the Foxes, October 2nd at 6 p.m. for Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN3. Ball in, Restrepo spills it and somehow gets it back. Soto and Restrepo collide. Restrepo didn't get it at first. Sierakowski, I think, got a touch to it, but actually hit it directly back to Restrepo as both Austin players remain down.
This ball goes wide to Smith. Pulls this ball across the field with his left foot. Restrepo comes to get it, but he just can't quite get there. Really, his own player is in his way. Hard contact.
The big bounce that goes Austin's way there as the goalkeeper was down and out. Players communicating on Austin's side, wondering what we're doing. I think Jermaine Taylor wanted Austin to play it short. As Lima's called for a foul on Ornstill. Lima's in a bit of surprise there. And I think that's one of those maneuvers that he's tried to pull all match. Make it look like Ornstill's holding and grabbing him when really it's the other way around. It's Lima trying to draw contact to see if he can get a whistle.
The referee got it right there. First contact was Lima pulling back, trying to post up on Ornstill, and he wanted the Ornstill grabbing his jersey or pushing back on his back, but really that was a reaction to what Lima was doing. It's hard for officials to pick up on the first foul. A lot of times they call the second. He did a good job to pick up on the first foul there.
Williamson tried to pick out Ojeda. He's making a run towards the top of the box, but it was nicely cut out by Baez. Now here's Twomasi in the box. Last minute important defending from Ornstill, and then leaves it. Lima tries to hit it on frame from a very tight angle and can't keep it in play. Interesting moment there over on the far side. You could see in the corner of your screen the ball kid was coming out to grab the ball. The whistle blew and he thought he was getting in trouble for running out on the field to grab the ball, and really the official was just telling him, no, go get it. It's going to help us out, continue this game along. As Dispay does well to keep it in front of Acosta. Cleared out only as far as Baez though. Soto, Tierpak. 74th minute. Austin and Portland at 1 apiece. Fletcher Johnson and Laura Schott here with you at Providence Park. As this early ball in, once again, Leaker gets a touch to it, puts it into a dangerous area. Tierpak can't quite get there though. Anguiano trying to send forward Sierakowski, and easy stuff for Soto to clear away. Portland getting pushed further and further back into their defensive half. Ball over the top for Mcfarland, he can't control, and it ends up in a goal kick for Portland.
One big change the second half is how much Austin is targeting the right side of the field. Sometimes they'll send Mcfarland, sometimes they'll send Tomasi, but they're really trying to get down the right side of the field, send crosses, cut into goal, create opportunities.
Austin out shooting Portland 9-4 at this point. Smith controls off the chest in front of Twumasi. High press from Austin earns them a throw. Smith didn't have any options. Ornstill was covered by Lima. That's his back pass option. Wharton was defended by Okugo. Portland needing to move the ball around a little quicker to get themselves out of danger, as that's a great touch from Lima to find Twumasi. First time cross in. Dizpay does enough to win it. Ojeda turns it over to Baez. Portland just cannot get out of their own half. Acosta corner of the box, defended by Ornstill. Cross in, headed away, top of the box for Okugo, shoots, and it's high. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2020-2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The experience starting to play a major role in this one for Austin. He's taking more and more of the ball, and Portland just cannot find a way through, even to complete a couple passes near midfield. We'll see another substitution for Portland, and this one more of an attacking nature. Carlos Anguiano will come off, and in his place, we'll see the Timbers Academy player Gio Calixtro come in. 4 goals this season for Calixtro. He was more of a forward, whereas Carlos Anguiano a defensive midfielder. So we'll see if this changes Portland into more of a 4-4-2 formation. As Calixtro familiar with playing up top. And here's his first touch. Defended by Rissi. And he misses Nathan Smith, and Rissi comes over. Great work by Eric Williamson to dispossess Rissi, though. He plays central for Ojeda. On that left foot, shoots! Easy stuff in the end for Restrepo.
Great hustle play there by Williamson to come across. Beautiful tackle, well timed. Came right through the ball.
Foul called there on Acosta, taking down Ornstill. A restart for Portland. Yeah, the great work from Williamson. I don't know if Rissi ever even saw him coming. Ojeda, that ball was dipping, but unfortunately right at Restrepo. Headed forward by Calixtro, but straight into the chest of Mcfarland, who just pops it straight up into the air near midfield. Williamson just looks so cool, calm, and collected on the ball. Over the head of Wharton, though, to Okugo. And Twumasi ruled offside. That was a big call there. It was close. It looked like Hansen might have been holding him on, but the near side official, Seth Martin, saw Twumasi offside, and Marcelo Serrano not happy with that call. Felt that Martin got that one wrong.
Twumasi's been close so many times today. I believe it's 4 that he's been called off. They've all been very, very tight. -1.
Good switch over to Hansen. Couple touches, will dribble it Tierpak, who does well to just knock it out to touch. 79th minute, 1-1. Here's Wharton, who plays it out to Williamson. Williamson, heavy touch again and again, but will shoot. This time, no, leaves it for Calixtro. Just a little bit behind him, and Austin clears. Great touch by Lima to get it to Acosta. Now over to Twomasi. 1v1 versus Ornstill. Corner of the box. Twomasi waiting for options to come forward, dribbles it around, then goes back post and doesn't put enough curl on that one. And it's out for a goal kick. Boy, Twomasi has been active here in the second half, causing problems for Portland. Really quiet first half for Twomasi, but has come to life in the second. Ojeda central for Wharton. It seems like Austin's laid off the high press as much here in the last 5 or 10 minutes. It's allowed Portland to get bodies forward. Now here's the right back, Hansen, defended by Soto. Couple step overs, decides to go towards the end line. Soto touches it, out for a corner kick. Third of the afternoon, make it fourth of the afternoon for T2.
Haven't seen Hansen get end line a lot today, but does a great job to earn the corner off of Soto's leg there.
And Ojeda will get a chance to hit in an in-swinger. That dangerous left foot. Ojeda, 2 assists so far this year. In towards Restrepo, comes out, didn't get anything on it. Rissi was able to knock it away though. Now back to Ojeda. Ojeda onside, prep touch, sends it in once again. This time it's Okugo gets ahead to it. Restrepo came out and knocked down Okugo after he hit that one. Now to Calixtro, shoots! And boy, an important block from Rissi, as Calixtro was in a great position to put that one on frame. And another corner kick for Portland.
This ball comes out. Williamson on the ball. Just sends it back through. Calixtro turns on his left, hits with his right.
Here's Williamson, top of the box. Shoots. Blocked by his own man. I think Langsdorff was the one that hit it. And this one will roll all the way across the end line for a goal kick in the 82nd minute. Well, let's go ahead and take a look back at how we got here. We opened things up in the first half, some good opportunities for Portland, but then in the 25th minute, Eric Williamson sent in Harold Hansen, who hit it first time past Restrepo. Portland would hold that lead for almost 40 minutes until Austin got the equalizer, playing a man down nonetheless. Mcfarland finding Tierpak on the cross. And Tierpak, his second goal in T2 in as many matches this season. And that's where things stand right now, as Portland and Austin all square at 1. Lima in an offside position there, as Portland once again holding the high line. And quick update for you during the look back at the goals. Andre Lima picked up a yellow card, his 6th of the season. So Lima goes in the book, the first Austin player in the book this afternoon. Sierakowski backheel touch to Foster Langsdorff and then deflected out. Boy, how big has Gustavo Rissi been? The 21-year-old on loan from Cruzeiro in Mexico comes up with another important block there.
Rissi had that block on Calixtro just a moment ago. Another very important block here on Langsdorff. Able to come across and time the tackle well.
So it'll be Ojeda to strike once again. In swinger from that far corner flag. 6th corner kick of the match for T2. Send it in. Sierakowski nearly gets his head to it. Falls to Calixtro. Shoots. Takes the deflection. I think that one was on frame, but Okugo was there to block it away, and now counterattack possibility for Austin. Here's Twomasi, overlapping run from Mcfarland. He's got Acosta central, plays Twomasi. Twomasi goes out wide, well struck and saved, and a deflection into the back of the net off of Dispay, and Andre Lima has his 12th goal this season. Austin has turned this thing on its head in the 84th.
Important transition moment there for Austin. Mcfarland's able to come forward so quickly there as he does. Ball pops back to Lima there. Unfortunate deflection.
An unfortunate bounce for Portland. You're getting into the point of the season where you're starting to look at moments like that and wondering, is a moment like that going to keep this team from a second consecutive playoff berth? Austin, though, what an impressive second half from them. After some great moments from Portland in the last 5 or 10 minutes, Austin has been dynamic when they've needed it most. I think one of the most interesting stats, Laura, about this T2 team, and unfortunately it's not a good one, is that when tied at the 75-minute mark, as Portland was with Austin, T2 is just 1-4-4 this season. 1 win in 9 times when they've been tied at the half. They have 4 losses, 4 draws in those matches. Ojeda rises, ends up falling to Smith. Smith will hit it back across, dangerous ball knocked away by Jermaine Taylor and cleared out to midfield by Austin. No one forward for Austin. Eric Williamson picks this one up under no pressure. 4.5 minutes left plus stoppage time for Portland to find an equalizer. Back to Hansen. This one collected by Restrepo. And you better believe Austin is going to be the team taking as much time as possible off the clock between the restarts.
To go back to your 75th minute statistic there, 1 goal comes off a cross. Those situations are typically more difficult when you're younger or less experienced because there has to be communication between the goalkeeper and the back line. The 2nd goal comes off a deflection.
Here's Ojeda, will send the cross in, headed up in the air by Rissi. Out to the edge of the box, Tierpak fouled by Sierakowski.
Dispay in that moment, in that deflection, he didn't necessarily need to touch the ball, right? A little bit more awareness of where he was in front of the goal. Could have let it go. Keeper could have called him off. Typically, if you're going to deflect something, you want to be tighter to the ball, have a better chance of getting more on it. Just unfortunate there in that moment.
Portland's had some heart-stopping victories, some tough defeats. This would be up there in the tough defeat category this season. Tierpak plays at central. Acosta couldn't get to it. Cleared away by Ornstill. Headed on off of Jermaine Taylor for a T2 throw. Less than 3 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time. Certainly by no means ends Portland's playoff hopes, but would be a big shot in the wrong direction to them. Ornstill, Smith can't control, and it's out for a goal kick.
Games like this at the end of the season, they're not even necessarily 3-point swings when you're looking at a team that's in playoff contention right now, or in playoff position, I should say, as Austin is, and then T2 just outside. It's more of a 6-point swing. You want to take 3 away from the other team, and you want to get 3 yourself. So in these situations, it's really important to get points.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the result was after the first half, Portland would have jumped over Austin in the standings. Now the thing to note, and that is of interest for this one and for this T2 team the remainder of the season, is they actually have a match in hand against the majority of teams in the Western Conference due to the fact that they were supposed to play as Twomasi takes down Ornstill behind the play and a late whistle by Tattersall to call it back. Portland was supposed to play at El Paso around the middle of the summer, and it was actually on the same day that the tragic shooting took place down in El Paso, so that match was postponed. Portland not making that up until October 15th. So Portland has a match in hand against everybody in the Western Conference except El Paso. So maybe an opportunity, or maybe a glass half full perspective, if you will, for Portland to try and gives themselves some additional hope. But they just have not been good enough at home this season. They've been great on the road, all things considered. They're 5-6-4 on the road this season. 5 road wins is an impressive number, but they just haven't got it done at home. Just 5-5-4, about to fall to 5-6-4. Their home matches between Providence Park and Merlot Field. And at Providence Park this year, Portland will move to 3-5-3 unless they can find a goal here as we approach stoppage time here at the end of the second half. When we'll play 4 minutes. It's a big chance for Portland to send a ball into the box. Ojeda and Williamson will either be an outswinger from Ojeda or an in-swinger from Williamson. Certainly too far of a distance to shoot from. So I have to imagine Ojeda will be the one to hit this. Gotta put some whip on it as all the big bodies forward for Portland. It will be Ojeda, goes back post. Dispay gets ahead to it, but can't steer it on frame, and now a chance for another counterattack for Austin. Eric Williamson, casual, doesn't get the touch he needs on it. Now Twomasi working his way around Ojeda. Williamson tracking back. Twomasi now would be smart to take this one to the corner. Great work by Emma Twomasi. Or he's eventually dispossessed by Portland, although Baez is able to keep it in play. Got to be careful not to foul Baez here, and it ends up in a T2 throw. And now Smith and Baez going at one another. Marcelo Serrano getting into the act, and Baez will receive the yellow card from Eric Tattersall. Now Twomasi and Smith getting into it with one another.
Short of a red card in that situation, I mean, when it's not going to be a red card. Baez doesn't care to pick up a yellow. Time's just ticking off the clock. They're just looking to end the game.
Austin's happy with this.
Baez here. He's trying to control the ball, a little bit of contact, but not really any reason to get in a shoving match about it on the sideline. Have to think that maybe it's a veteran player just taking some time off the clock.
This is exactly what Marcelo Serrano would have wanted. It's a minute off the clock due to that incident. We'll see if Eric Tattersall adds it back on. We're through 2 of the added 4 here at the end of the second half, with Portland searching for an equalizer. Williamson out to Smith. Smith will send an in-swinger in, headed away by Jermaine Taylor. Former MLS Timber knocks it out only as far as Hansen. Now to Sierakowski, defended by Soto. Gets around Soto, sends a ball in. Does it take a deflection? No, and it's out for a goal kick.
Sierakowski's got to get around that ball. To give up that ball behind the goal. To give up any ball that goes out of bounds at this point in the game, you got to do everything you can to get around it. Anytime the ball goes out, it's just going to tick seconds off the clock. Restrepo's going to be in no hurry to put this back in play.
Twomasi in an offside position.
Gotta consider maybe at this point pulling Leaker up. Take the free kick.
Hornstill will hit it. 30 seconds left at the discretion of Eric Tattersall. Dispay wins the header. Oh, Eric Williamson looked to potentially be in the right position, but it was just a little too much on it, and Restrepo able to collect.
Ball served in, straight ball down central. Dispay tries to get something on it to flick it, but just can't get a lot on it, and Williamson can't quite get to the ball.
Here's Twomasi to Tierpak. Tierpak onside. Great first touch. Shoots and is wide. Maybe one more chance for Portland. We'll see how much time Eric Tattersall adds after that big stoppage for the yellow card to Baez. Header won by Soto. Out to touch at midfield. Sierakowski quickly gets it. Throws it back into Wharton. Portland's got to get the ball forward here. Ojeda wins the header to Calixtro. Calixtro to Smith onside. Prep touch, shoot, blocked, and cleared away by Rissi. Too much time from Smith. He needed to hit that one first time, and that does it. Austin comes in the second half and gets 2 goals to turn the result on its head and walks away with 3 points.
This ball flicked over and Calixtro plays it across. Smith doesn't need that second touch. He's got to hit that first time. That second touch for the shot just gives that defender enough time to come across and block.
So Portland suffers a defeat. They fall to 10-12-8 on the season, remain on 38 points. Austin Bold moving closer to securing a playoff spot. Now 13-11-7 on 43 points. As Austin gets the victory, let's go ahead and take a look back at the highlights from this one. As Austin gets the victory, 25th minute, Harold Hansen opened the scoring thanks to Eric Williamson.
Guiano plays that ball across and Williamson with the clever ball forward. Hansen with a great run and finish. Another look at it here, he just plays that ball through, well-weighted pass. Hansen sees that near post is open and the keeper's Restrepo was just leaning right and he places it in the right spot.
Portland was 8-3-3 this season when holding a lead at the break. It's nearly a goal for Austin here, their best opportunity of the first half.
Yeah, they didn't create a lot of dangerous opportunities in that first half. Lima steps forward to take this free kick. Tries to bend it over the wall with his right foot.
Goes off the back of his own player. We move to the second half, 53rd minute now, and an opportunity for Portland to double their lead.
Smith sets his ball back to Williamson, who kind of fades the ball and then takes it hard end line. Hurtado crashing the box, but the ball takes a deflection. Can't recover and read it, get something on it. Austin maybe got a little lucky there.
Portland would rue that moment as 11 minutes later, Austin would get the opener thanks to Chris Tierpak.
You see Baez on the drive and Mcfarland coming down that right side. Plays a well-weighted cross. Central and Tierpak just comes in. Finishes that ball far post.
It's a great ball by Baez. Get an assist for that as well. The hockey assist, if you will. And then Mcfarland gets the other assist. 83rd minute, it was Andre Lima. Oh, actually, before that, it was an opportunity for Portland. On that ball in from Harold Hansen. Great touch by Sierakowski and Rissi over with the important clearance. So then, just a minute later, it would be Austin with the game-winning goal on the attack forward.
And driving forward in transition here, ball comes across. Ball's set to Lima. Dispay looks to block. Ball takes a deflection and tucks in near post there. Unfortunate for T2, but very fortunate for Austin.
And Lima with his 12th goal of the season gives Austin the 3 points. Portland now just 4 matches remaining in the season. They will play the Western Conference champion, Phoenix Rising FC. They've already clinched that, so interesting to see what perspective Phoenix comes in with. That'll be next Saturday at 7 p.m. right here at Providence Park. Portland Timbers 2 and Phoenix Rising FC. Well, that'll do it for us here this afternoon from Providence Park. Austin comes on the road, gets the victory 2-1 for our entire production crew, our producer Jose Navarez, as well as my broadcast partner Laura Schott. I'm Fletcher Johnson. We'll talk to you October 5th for more Portland Timbers 2 soccer right back here at Providence Point. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
Harold Hansen, his first goal of the season.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.